Welcome to another episode of Bathroom Mirror Teachings. Today I want to speak about compassion. Compassion is the highest expression of love. You see, but we've lost it. We've lost it because we've become unaware of ourselves. I'll give you an example of unawareness. There's an insurance study that shows the majority of motor vehicle accidents happen closer to home, in a place that you're very familiar with. How come? Because you're on autopilot. You are doing something unawares. You're just doing it because you've always done it. You see? And because we've always done it, the senses have become dulled. That is how we go through life right now, on autopilot. That's how we do it. Why are we going through life on autopilot? Because there's this illusion that there's not enough time. You got to get to bed because you got to get up early. You got to go to work. You got to pay your bills. You got to do something. And the way the mind is, the mind loves a habit. Because it is there to serve. And it loves to serve. So it tries to make the process that you're doing easier. Ever watch somebody who's typing and who's been typing for a long time? Wow, they're incredibly fast. Why? Because it was an action that the mind noticed this person has been doing over and over, so they must want to get good at it. So it just makes you good at it. This is why I always tell my son, practice the things that you want to become good at. Or else you end up being an expert at things that you don't want to be an expert in. That's what we've done. So the skill of the mind is being underutilized. Because we're only allowing it to do one thing, which is run on autopilot. Because of this illusion that there's not enough time. How can there be not enough of something that does not exist? Time does not exist. If you've ever watched Doctor Who, you have to understand that in the description of time, we think it is linear, a straight line, but it's not. According to Doctor Who, time is a wibbly, wobbly, timey-wimey. It's like a ball of yarn. It does not flow straight. But what we've done to create unity, we agree that 12 is lunchtime. We agree that 8 a.m. is a great time to start work. You see? That's what we've agreed upon. Thus, because we all agree that 12 o'clock is lunchtime, therefore it is. Autopilot. How do you get out of autopilot? You get out of autopilot by beginning to watch yourself. When you start watching yourself, you start realizing that if you can watch yourself, who's doing the action if you can watch yourself? It may seem far-fetched, But there's a reason why you must watch yourself. Because when you start to watch yourself, you realize something. That our individual actions directly influence mass actions. What I do affects you. What you do affects me. If we are doing things unawares, then not only are we hurting ourselves, but we're hurting other people, and we don't even know that we are. That's right. How do we practice becoming self-aware? Watch yourself. Simply watch. Like, for instance, in traditional Chinese medicine, the entire modality is built on observation. They watch to see what happens to the body. You treat it with this herb, what happens? They're not very quick to rush in and say, oh, this is a problem, cut it out. That's not what they do. One learns through observation. We must start watching ourselves. But right now what we do, we watch other people and we judge because we are unaware. Well, Angela, what's the importance of this? Why is this important? Why should I care? We should care because individual actions influence the whole. This is why hate spreads so easily. Sometimes we don't even know why we hate. We just do it because it's on autopilot. Somebody said, this is the way it is, this is the way it's always been done, and we do it that way. Without asking a question, without observing. And we go on affecting the people around us as well as ourselves. Without knowing why. Because we have lost sight of what is truly important. When you start to observe yourself, you start to understand how to make aware choices. So the choice, you look at the choice and you say, I want to have this experience. And then if you're aware, you only choose experiences that uplift. Because you know when you choose an experience that uplifts you, it will uplift other people around you. Why? Because individual actions influence the whole. This is why change cannot happen from the outside. We want to dismantle systems of oppression. But systems of oppression can only be dismantled if the individuals within the system become aware of their actions. Becoming aware, it kind of seems challenging at first, but it is the easiest thing to do because it is what you were created for. You were created to be aware because that's what you are. But some people say, oh, we've forgotten. No, We've never forgotten. It's just that we're not looking there anymore because we're too busy chasing things. We are too busy buying into the lie. But Angela, that's not a lie. I gotta pay my rent. I gotta buy food. I gotta do this. I gotta get to work. If I don't get to work, yeah, I know, because I live it with you. I'm in the same system, remember? I'm in the same system. We're all in this together. And the only way to influence the system is to start by influencing yourself. You are the pebble being dropped into the pond that creates the ripples. Yes, it starts with me. It starts with you. Snap out of this autopilot that we're in. The only way to snap out of autopilot is to observe yourself. Watch your every action. Just watch it. Just simply watch. You're not going to react when somebody says something derogatory. Just watch. You're a movie on a screen. Just watch. Just watch. And out of this watching, you will begin to hear your spirit more clearly. And what that does is open the floodgates of compassion. Can you imagine if I were compassionate and you were compassionate? Tom, Dick, Mary Jane, Harry, and George, who were all compassionate? Can you imagine what that would be like? Oh, we'd still have everything we needed. We'd still have our house, we'd have our cars, we'd have everything we needed because we're here, right? We'd have all those things. But the importance would not be on a thing. The importance would be compassion. Compassion. Oh, Angela, you poor thing. You want to live in a utopian society? Oh, you keep on imagining then. It's not an imagination thing. It is our true nature to be compassionate. We talk about wanting climate change to end. We talk about wanting hunger and homelessness to end. But that only ends by beginning with us. We need to remember that compassion is the glue that holds this entire universe together. So spend some time just simply observing yourself. Your every action. You get in your car to drive, you adjust your mirror, Watch yourself driving. Just watch yourself driving, because you've got to anyway. You have to be aware, don't you? Because when we are unaware, we become a danger to ourselves and to others. Become aware and safety ensues. Oh my goodness, really? Yes, it sure does. I've rambled on enough. But simply watch yourself and see what happens. If you've subscribed to this podcast and you start watching yourself, send me a voice note. Send me an email. Just communicate and tell me what you've experienced. Why? Because experience is the best teacher there is, and we must share our experiences so that we can uplift all of us. And with that, I bid you adieu. Much love.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.